Known for being highly selective about roles and wholly immersing himself in his characters, Daniel Day-Lewis is considered one of the greatest actors of his time. After 25 years of stunning, meticulously prepared portrayals on screen, Day-Lewis shocked fans by announcing his retirement from acting in 2017 while still at the peak of his career. This sudden departure left many wondering why he'd walk away after such an acclaimed career. Factsverse presents Daniel Day-Lewis confesses the real reason he quit acting. Early life and career beginnings. Daniel Michael Blake Day-Lewis was born in 1957 in London to the poet Cecil Day-Lewis and actress Jill Balkin. Surrounded by literary and theatrical figures from a young age, Day-Lewis excelled on stage as a teenager with the National Youth Theatre before studying his craft at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School. After some television and theatre work, he broke through in films in 1985, playing a gay man in an interracial relationship in My Beautiful Laundrette. Over the next decade, he began honing his total immersion technique through intense preparation for roles like the paralyzed Christy Brown in My Left Foot. On set, he would stay in character between takes, making crew members also interact with him as the character, a level of discipline that sometimes put his health at risk. He continued earning acclaim in films like The Last of the Mohicans, The Age of Innocence, and In the Name of the Father. Oscar glory and further success. By the late 90s, Day-Lewis had firmly established himself as one of the most dedicated and gifted actors in cinema. After taking some time off in the late 90s to work as a cobbler's apprentice in Italy, he returned for Martin Scorsese's Gangs of New York in 2002, for which he underwent extensive training in knives, street fighting, and speaking in a New York accent. He earned his second Best Actor Academy Award in 2007 for his volcanic performance as oil baron Daniel Plainview in There Will Be Blood. In perhaps his most iconic role, Day-Lewis delivered an uncanny embodiment of Abraham Lincoln in Steven Spielberg's acclaimed 2012 biopic, Lincoln. Staying in character on set and in a Kentucky accent between takes, his moving portrayal earned him an unprecedented third Best Actor Oscar. By this point, he was widely considered the greatest actor alive and among the best in the history of film. His final on-screen performance came in 2017's Phantom Thread as fastidious 1950s London dressmaker Reynolds Woodcock. True to form, he apprenticed for months with a couture designer to learn high fashion techniques for the role. The decision to retire. In June 2017, just months before Phantom Thread's release, Day-Lewis's spokesperson announced he had decided to retire from acting. While the intensely private actor did not elaborate much publicly, he later indicated a growing disillusionment with the craft and a need to explore, quote, the world in a different way. Having thrown himself wholly into acting from age 12, it seemed time to step back and rediscover life's simpler joys outside the limelight. Those closest to him, however, revealed more details about his struggles on his final film. Apparently, both he and Phantom Thread director Paul Thomas Anderson were overcome by an unaccountable sadness and depression during the shoot. Haunted by the feeling even after filming wrapped, his deep unease solidified a growing impulse to walk away. One unlike his temporary breaks from acting in the past. Having portrayed so many larger-than-life figures, playing the haunted dressmaker Reynolds Woodcock left Day-Lewis emotionally and creatively spent. So at age 60, and at the peak of his profession, cinema's most dedicated method actor decided he had given enough of himself and bid farewell to the screen for good, or so it seemed. That recent sighting. After 5 years living in privacy since retiring, Day-Lewis was photographed walking in the streets of New York City's West Village in May of 2023. Dressed casually in sweats, hoodie, and sunglasses with shoulder-length hair, he appeared content, strolling alongside wife Rebecca Miller. Fans were excited to see the reclusive legend, looking healthy and in good spirits. The surprising appearance had sparked speculation that Day-Lewis may come out of retirement after all. Could he be itching for a comeback and quietly prepping for a new film role out of the public eye? Or might he transition to working behind the camera as a director or writer under his wife Rebecca Miller's guidance? While it remains unlikely we'll see Daniel Day-Lewis on screen again, given the immense personal toll acting took in his later career, fans hold out hope that the undeniable pull of creativity and storytelling may lure the three-time Oscar winner back for one final metamorphosis. Day's acting technique. Daniel Day-Lewis is renowned in the film industry for his rigorous method acting technique. Instead of simply pretending to be a character, he tries to adopt their reality entirely. This means exhaustive research, physical training to match the character, and staying in their persona on and off set. While shooting My Left Foot, he stayed in a wheelchair and was spoon-fed by crew. For Last of the Mohicans, he lived in the wilderness, and for Lincoln, he kept his Kentucky accent always on. This total immersion places extreme demands on his body and psyche. He broke ribs once, staying hunched over playing disabled. Exiting a Hamlet stage performance mid-scene after hallucinating his father's ghost, he refused to act on stage again. The boxer saw him studying boxing until his trainer said he could turn pro. Such absorbed roles often leave him depressed or saddled with injuries after filming raps. While allowing unparalleled authenticity on screen, the approach carries a heavy toll. Personal relationships. Just as Day-Lewis pours himself wholly into each film character, he's known to approach personal relationships with similar intensity. He had a passionate 6-year romance with French actress Isabelle Adjani in the late 80s, early 90s, during which she became pregnant with his first son, Gabriel Kane. He later fell deeply in love with writer-director Rebecca Miller, daughter of famed American playwright Arthur Miller. They married in 1996, and she has been his primary anchor from the limelight ever since. Together they have 2 sons, Ronan and Cashel, and split their time between Ireland and New York. By all accounts, Daniel has been a dedicated husband and father when not acting. However, past relationships reveal his tendency to be swept up fully at first before disengaging or needing extended breaks. Life outside acting. For someone so consumed by his craft, Daniel Day-Lewis does have some surprising passions beyond acting. In his younger years, he trained as an apprentice cabinet maker and excelled at woodworking. He has a deep love for flashy motorcycles and reading poetry. And as revealed when he took time off in the late 90s, he harbors an affinity for shoemaking. After The Boxer in 1997, he vanished from Hollywood for several years. He moved to Italy and worked as a cobbler's apprentice, learning to craft shoes from scratch. The hands-on nature and visible end products satisfied him more than acting's abstract creative process. Though acting pulled him back eventually, the impulse to create tangible things remains. He enjoys building furniture and has been spotted tinkering on motorbikes near his Irish home. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think we'll ever see Daniel Day-Lewis in a movie again? Let us know in the comments section below.